Hello there guys, welcome back to episode 2 of Real Talk with the Flying Bird. Oh great, well it's going to annoy me, but it's not much you can do in Australia when it's this sweltering hot. This is the last video I'm going to record at being 17, so yeah. Real Talk today is going to focus on one thing, and it's identity. And it was inspired by a video by my good friend The Bird. If you guys haven't already checked out my jabroni, check him out, he's a nice jabroni. And what Verd was saying was that he wanted to accept responsibility in his life for his poor choices, which haven't enabled him to do what he loves, which is running, and trying to challenge himself in physical activities. It really struck a chord with me because I used to be the type of kid that never took responsibility for anything. I think that the biggest thing about responsibility is that sometimes we don't want to admit to ourselves that we've made a mistake or we've done something wrong. I think something like Verd really spoke chord with us is like, oh, my weakness is snacking. And can you guys help me with that? And I think the big thing about Real Talk here is asking for help is something incredibly hard to do, especially as a young male, because males, generally speaking, are really referred to, you've got to be the toughest, you've got to be the bravest, and you've got to be this, you've got to be that. That's not me. I can come across quite feminine, and oh my gosh, people go, oh my god, use the word feminine there to lower his masculinity. That's a bit of an insult to females. No, it's just who I am. But I wanted to give you guys an insight into a story in my life that happened a year and a half ago, and it really I think it gave me a conscience, and I really mean that. I don't think I ever had a conscience before until this act happened, and I think the hardest thing about this act was taking responsibility for who I was as a person. And yes, guys, I'm sorry that it's below me, but I can't do much with my recording situation. So, about a year and a half ago, there was me and this girl. So we're going to call this girl Zazo, because we love Zazo. We love you, Zazo. So, me and Zazo, we were, having a bit of banter one day, and I was thinking, I was working up the courage to, ask Zazo out, and what a beautiful man that is. Where's a gift of affection that I have randomly on my desk? Zazo, that's for you, my boo. And we had a party, and I was a bit annoyed because I couldn't. Mama Jolt was stopping me from getting with Zazo. Mama Jolt makes me sad every time. And I said to a mate, oh, look, well, it's alright, I don't feel, do you feel bad that, so Gypsy's like to me, oh, do you feel upset like Mama Jolt was like cock-blocking you? I'm sorry I'm using all the MPL guys as examples that just who I've been talking to recently. And it's like, no, it's all good, and Mama Jolt feels sorry for Zazo, that's the reason why, sorry, Zazo feels sorry for Mama Jolt, that's the reason why he talks to him, and I was like, oh, okay. And then that's when life hit that one point where I don't really want to return to, and for a year and a half I had to deal with the fact that I lost my best friend, I lost everything I had, I lost who I was as a person. I went from living my life up here to living it about down here, and that's something I think a lot of people aren't really used to, and it takes a lot of respect for yourself to admit that you were wrong. So it's something that I found incredibly difficult to do because I've always lived my life up here, and to be cut down like that really hurt because I didn't know how to react. And I think that's something that I really want to focus on here. Emotions can grab a hold of your life, and you can do things you regret. Love, anger, pain, sadness, and they can all make you do a long list of things that you will regret. But I learned that I always had respect for this woman in my life, and I still do. That I never spoke a bad word about her. Now, a lot of people may say, oh, James, this girl really ruined you a bit, you lost everything. You went from up here to down here, you lost all your friends, and you still speak only of her. And I said, yeah, because I made the mistake, not her. And to live with that is something I don't think a lot of people understand, because sometimes at nights I'll be up at night thinking about stuff and I wonder what would happen. But it's something that you have to realize at some stage in your life you can't keep living in that moment. You can't keep living in that moment where you made a mistake. Because if you keep living in that moment, you never move forward. And that's something I really try to emphasize with this. These videos aren't trying to tell you, like, I'm going to cure your depression. But what I'm trying to do is trying to help people understand that a lot of people undergo through moods and fluctuations in their life, and some people often go through depression. And in particular, as a young male bloke, it's alright to speak up about it. I mean, I don't know how people do this over the world, but I remember we were sitting in a modern history lecture. I was saying, alright, do you know what the Anzac spirit is? So for those who don't know what an Anzac is, they're pretty much our soldiers who fought in World War II and World War One. Like, do you know what an Anzac is? An Anzac's a hard-working, brave, courageous, and like, we Australians build themselves upon this Anzac spirit. It's something we're very proud of. I think we're not proud to go into war with countries at the moment, but we're proud of our Anzacs because we believe that they gave us the ultimate sacrifice for our country, and that's why we dedicate a day to them, and that we always, I think, never take for granted that they passed for our freedom. And yeah, and to have that stigma attached to you as someone who's quite mentally strong, to speak out about it. The weird thing for me was I found that a majority of the people I had to speak to were female. And the reason why I had to speak to them was because guys didn't believe me. They were like, what do you mean a girl can make you feel this way? I was like, well, this is how she made me feel inside. And they were like, James, you're laughing and you talk to girls, and I'm like, I can see how it is. But this video isn't just trying to understand who the person I was, but also it gave me an insight into that I was living a lie. I was living up here thinking I was the greatest person alive, when really I was living down here with a whole load of artificial layers to my life. I thought I was funny, I thought I was a king, I thought I was friendly, I thought I was this. Reality of it was, I was a dickhead. I think for the first 16 years of my life I lived as a dickhead. And I don't want people saying to me, oh my god, you can't just be like that, you're much more of a person. No, I believe I generally did. I got into trouble a lot as a kid in school and things like that. But the one thing I've always emphasized is that I loved the show My Name is Earl, because for every wrong thing he did, he tried to make up for it. And I have always go to, no matter the extreme, to try to make something right. Sorry guys, I had a notification on Facebook, I'm going to delete that. And remember, real talk is always unedited. But I think for me, what I tried to do was I was really happy with the person I was when I was around this girl, because I was a really nice person. People were just like, hey James, you're a really nice bloke, and it was just a bit, thank you. And it's something that I think a lot of people get caught in the moment, and I could definitely get caught in the moment. And when I say moment, I don't mean like it was like 30 seconds one day. I was like, oh wow, I'm really a dickhead. I'm gonna kill myself. It was a period of about 15 months. I didn't know how to react. But I think that the best thing to do about it, sorry guys, I just had to fix my camera and things like that, ran out of space on my iPhone, is I think the best way we have to do it as people is we have to understand that everyone makes mistakes. Everybody has those days, but in particular, how to be an open and accepting person is the most valuable thing to someone going through heartache or however they feel on that day. Like, I think that we are such a society where we are so open to people that they will tell us their deepest insecurities, and we just judge them. I think that's a crazy thing, because if I tell you something in confidence, like if I made a mistake, I don't want you going, oh my gosh, James, you're a dickhead. Like, how do you live your life like that, mate? I'd never make a mistake like that. Yeah, I'm much better than you. That's not how it is. Like, I think that you need to be constructive with other people in your life. I mean, if Lewis comes to me and goes, Lord James, I think I made a mistake, I'd be like, well, Lewis, let's work through a mistake together. And let's be like, thanks, man, that's what I needed. And on the topic of Lewis, I really want to emphasize the importance of having people that you can talk to and openly about it. This one's going to focus on 2 YouTubers and 1 personal person. The personal person I just alluded to, Lewis. How to describe Lewis? You don't. Because Lewis is such a kind, charismatic person that although he has his flaws, we all do, and I don't think it's fair to judge him on his flaws, but he is a very adept person that makes me aspire to be a bit more knowledgeable like he is, and the way just to be able to quite jovial all the time, even if it's not really how he's feeling that he's having a shit day, he'll still make you laugh. And I think that's something that's really important to people, because we often underestimate how people's reactions to us today and how people make us, what they say to us, really, I think as a depressed person, it's 10 times more emotional. Like, you'd be like, hey James, but I think it's more so that Lewis was just like, hey James, like, how you doing today, bro? Like, yeah, Lewis, it was a really bad day. Why was it a bad day? Oh, Lewis, and I saw her again today, and it's a normal class, and I was relapsing about memories. Well, James, can't really tell you much to do, mate. What are you gonna do in the moment? Oh, I don't know, I just think about things and overthink. James, let's play some Pokemon. I load up, and it's like, time to record. Hello there, guys, and I want to make it really clear that Lewis 100% pushes me to do YouTube, and his belief in me is something I don't think a lot of people understand of how important it is to me. Sorry guys, I'm going to drink a bit of water. Because by him having that belief in me, reinvigorated my own belief in myself, and it really made me just question, Lewis would be like, I'd be like, hey Lewis, was I really a dickhead? And he'd be like, James, you're one of the most kind and caring people I know. And I'd be like, when someone tells you something and it's confronting, but it's a good confronting, and you just sit there for a moment, and you just have to reread the message twice. James, you're a kind and lovely person. You're joking, mate. You having a laugh? I was like, James, I didn't joke about these things, man. No, you're having a laugh. I'm not that. I'm not that person. Oh, please. I'm not that person. You're like, no, you really are. Like, have you ever considered that? It's like, what do you mean, Lewis? It's like, you need to consider the person you want to be, and understand the fact that not always will you be that person that you think you are, because to other people you mean different things. And I think that's something that really should be emphasized more often, is that we need people like Lewis in our life. And I think I would rather have Lewis in my life than 100 fake people that I used to hang around with, that used to make me want to, be the world's richest man. But rather than have Lewis in my life, who I'd rather just knock back my 13th birthday, having a beer with in some random place, just laughing about the most pointless stuff in the world. Like our immense love for doggos. Actually, hang on, when I say pointless stuff, the highest things in life you prioritize is positivity around you. And when I say positivity, I don't necessarily mean be like slobbing on the knob, as I would say. Yeah, but I think that we really underestimate those people in our life because of the impact they have. And I think they underestimate their own impacts in other people's lives. Oh my gosh, my hair is like lights falling through it. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, I think we underestimate those people's contributions in our life for the simple reason that everyone tells us that we should have the perfect friend group. Like, they should be all rich, they all should love what you love. Like, if you like Pokemon, they all should like Pokemon. But the reality is, it's not like that. And I'd rather I think there's a great line that sums up what I look for in people. It's from Good Will Hunting, and it goes, he doesn't, the professor goes, it's dumbfounded, it's why does Will hang around all these people? And they're not very bright. And you just see Ron is really, boy? The reason why he hangs around these people is because he doesn't care about who they are. He just knows that they would take a bullet for him at any given notice. And the other thing, too, is I think Good Will Hunting is a great movie for that reason of finding identity. Because it's all about a guy who's a janitor, who has one of the brightest minds in the world, but doesn't realize the potential he has because he constantly overthinks everything that goes on in his life, down to milliseconds. And be like, I can't do that for a job because it's bad. And he turns to his best mate and he's like, you know that I'm going to work with you for the rest of my life, and that kid's going to play mini-ball together. And you just see the mate just you realize that if in 10 years' time you're still working at this joint, I'll kick your ass. You what? I mean, you have so many opportunities in your life that you're sitting on a winning lottery ticket that you're too much of a pussy to cash in. Fuck. Yeah, you tell me. You go do it. And it's just, that's what Lewis was like to me. He's like, bro, you seem to win a lottery ticket at the moment. And if you do not take that opportunity, You are a fool of a goddamn took, and my mama told me never to kiss a fool. And I'm like, oh, but that's something that's really important. The second person I'm going to highlight today, someone who I keep often in my 5, and it's like McKay, aka Timothy. Tim, how do you describe it? Tim's like the man with a chin bush. Do I have like something? Okay, don't worry, I've got something. He's got a nice little chin bush. Hello. That's a bit more like this. And he's someone that, a bit of hair there, has his real own style of YouTube, and he's always really positive about it. He messaged me today. He was like, "Hey James, did you get any subs overnight?" No, Tim. Why? 120 now. Oh, I got rated by about 100 people, and all I did was tell them to check you out. And you sit there like, you really telling me that 100 people went and checked you out, and all you did was tell them to go check me out? Like, damn. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. Like, here's 100 new people, and instead of being like, yo, welcome to the channel, boys, this is Legna K here, and I'm gonna be your king for the next 5 years, you're feel welcome to leave a like in that description below, and I'm here to follow you. Hey guys, what's good? It's Legna K here, back for another Pokemon Sun and Moon. But to be like, whoa, we just got rated. Have you guys checked out the flying bird? He's one of my good friends of mine. Here, have a link. And I'll just like, I could never imagine that. Like, I could be like, you'd be like sending 5 million people in my channel, and I wouldn't think for a second moment to be like, in that moment, to be like, yeah guys, check out Legna K, he's my good friend. I'd be like, yo, 5 million people, all hit that like and subscribe button and help me out, because I'm the king. And it's just, Tim was the first person really, we started DMing, and there's a lot of things that we noticed in our lives that I think we noticed. It's not my place to say, but I think we both noticed that there were certain things in our lives we didn't like, and in particular heavily in mine, and like the mistakes I made, and what I said, and what I did, and how to act. And Tim's like that, like dad. He's just like, yo, James, today was a good day for me. How was your day? I'm like, oh, Dad, fuck off, school shit. Like, James, there's no way to talk to your father. And remember, I am Timothy. And then I was like, what? I am your father. It's like, yeah, okay. I was just like, and he's the type of guy that was just like, yo, you need something? Do you need, sorry, Discord message come up, I can't help it, I'm actually going to close my computer, but you'd be like, hey James, do you need a team? Do you want a head? Hey guys, welcome back to the Legna K video. I'm here for the FPL Season 2. Big shoutouts to my man Bird for helping me build this team. I was like, I got guys who are, like, bigger than Tim who just, like, forget to put me in the description. I was just like, wow, this man cares so much about seeing me grow that he puts me before himself at times. Me and Tim have an unspoken rule. I will never charge Tim for his graphics, but he was always the first type of guy that if I need a battle video recorded, he'd be like, hello, James, you got me great graphic? I'm like, yo, Tim, got it. Like, I think what Tim made me realize is the shit that I used to give myself for and beat myself up about being this dickhead. It wasn't deserved, because although I may appear to certain people that way, and I'm sorry that I get red at the moment. Let me see if I can open my blinds a bit. It'll help me. I don't know. Yes, I am a white mofo, but he was like, you know that you make people's lives better by helping them out, by doing graphics for them, for encouraging them. And I was just like, Dad, please stop. I'm going to tear up. And it was just, Tim made me want to grow up. I'm sick of mucking around with people, doing stupid shit. I'm telling you now, Tim genuinely made me want to grow up. Like, he was like, bro, you gotta get your act together. Like, what do you mean? Like, hey, Tim made me realize one thing in particular, and it's not a negative thing, but this is the most real thing I'm gonna say on my channel. And I don't have anything against older PokeTubers, but it's each to their own. But if I'm 26 in 8 years' time, and the reason people come to my channel is to watch me play some video game, and that's their main priority, I'm going to just quit, because I'm not adding value to anyone. I'd rather just be selling graphics, and it's like, hey, Pokechiba, you go. Pokechiba, you go. But I think for me that this Real Talk is something I'm going to try to do weekly. It's a double upload today. It was a major holiday, things like that. So you will have two. You'll have this video today, and tomorrow you'll have a message to my 18-year-old self from 17-year-old self. But I think that that's something that really made me stick out. And I was like, wow, but Tim isn't just a Poketuber. He brings a lot to the table. He brings people going, wow, that's really cool the way that Tim's is so positive. I got hacked. Yeah, I'm sorry about it. And it's just like, I'd be like, I'm still upset about losing that match to Brock when I was 5 years old. And in playing Game Boy Red and Blue, I lost to Brock. And he got a crit Geodude Rock Slide on my Charmander. It still tears me up to this day. And Tim's was like, where it happens, it happens. And I think, bloody Sasso's right, I go off a tangent, don't I? But, yeah, I think having someone like Tim in your life is really important because it reaffirms your positive identity and keeps that positive zen coming around you. And it's important that zen's around you because it means that there's an opportunity to grow. And I think there's a great debate, it was nature versus nurture, and I think nurture is always the way to go. That's why I believe that young offenders, those under the age of 18 that commit crimes, should always go through a nurture situation, focus on rehabilitation rather than retribution. That's a debate for another day. But I think that the most important thing is those who are suffering from depression, you need to understand that you need a nurture environment, not a nature environment. And sometimes you need someone to tell you how real it is, telling you now. If they're a real friend, they'll tell you how it is. And I mean, if they're a real friend, they will tell you that, like, well, bro, what you said yesterday at 3 p.m., that wasn't cool. But you know what? If you don't have that person in your life, you can go find them. Because I'm telling you now, what Lewis did for me was like, James, you need to grow a bit of a, you're up here, right? But you're not really, are you? I'm like, whoa, what do you mean? It's like, sometimes what you say, man, it just cuts people deep. I mean, I absolutely roasted someone at the start of the year, and I saw the impact of roasting, and everyone goes, it's all online. Girl came to school the next day crying, and I'll never forget that, because I don't know how I should have reacted to that. And yes, people can say, oh, you're sticking up for a friend, and a million excuses, and like she deserved it, but I never wanted it to go that far, and that's something, something in depression, you just put someone down like that makes their life feel, not worth it, and you go, shit, is that who I want to be? My last person is Zazo. I am Flash Gaming. I'm not going to reveal, I like to reveal a bit of context, but I'm not going to reveal much context about Zazo because I believe that's Zazo's place to say, not mine. Like any YouTuber. But there's something about Anthony a lot of people need to understand. Anthony is the type of guy that I've really got along with, and he really showed to me that sometimes you need to understand that people may be warned about people and told how they act, but let them know. I got told, because I'm mates with a few people in Chimp's front office, that they were like, whoa, watch this kid get tossed, and he gets all salty. I was like, mate, this kid's nothing. Like, he's a school kid. Oh, I'm gonna be the best. He makes bad every time. I remember I was in call with him one day. I said, James, you know that video was to educate people? I was like, what do you mean? It's like, see, the way he played turn 5, I could have really went, he's a better player was to do this, but because he did that play, I didn't expect it, so I didn't know how to react, and then I could never really find my groove in the match, and that's what really cost me the match. And you go, right, fair enough. Yeah, move on. But Zazo in PMs to me, he's like, James, you want to do face cam? Do face cam. James, if you need someone to review something for you, let's do it. But remember, if you're going to do a series like Real Talk, you've got to keep it objective. And I think that Zazo's made me realize as well that I don't want to be in Pokemon in 10 years' time. I'd be mad if my job was like, hello, welcome to World Championships here this year with a flying bird as your host. And then it's like, Mother, you're commentating this year's event with the one, the only Lightning K, previous world champion. Hey, Tim, how you doing? Hey, James, remember that time we were in the FPL together? Oh, yeah, dude, Tim, it was a great time. Well, yeah, it's great to be once again with you in the world stage. And in the final this year for VGC 16, is we have Epic Titan versus Dominator 32. I'm just like, well, bro, that's pretty cool. It's crazy to think we're all in FPL Season 2 together. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, But, I want to change the way I act. I want to change the way my videos come across. I want to be the change I want to see. And I think that, I talked to a lot of people about this, I think there's a cap with Pokemon. I think maybe 200k is the cap. For only a Pokemon player, you cap at 200k. Or maybe a bit more, 300k, 500k, 600k, depends. But I think that we, as a Pokemon community, need to be a lot more genuine with one another. And really, I think a lot of us all need to understand. I'm just going to close this blind a little bit. Just a little bit. As you know, Aussies is just like, it's really hard in here. Yeah, but it's important to realize that. I'm going to get a bit more water. And the change I want to see from the Pokemon community is just people being genuine and people being inviting. And the one thing I've learned recently, in a league I've been in, is that some people really, downgraded to me, saying how bad it was and like the way they treat one another. And I've been in there, and it's one of the best leagues for camaraderie, and like everyone supports one another. Everyone looks at other people. I've never heard so many reactions be like, wow. And then the second thing's been like, can I pay you for that? And I'm like, what? Bro, I'm just here for fun. No. Can I pay you? Like, the hanky-panky? No. Like, your graphics, man. They really just invigorate me. And I really like them. I'm just like, wow. Like, how do you respond to that? So, just to let you guys know, my identity. I'm James Black. I'm 17 years old. This is my last video before I turn 18. Yes, I've made some mistakes in my life, but I try to pride myself on being an open and accepting person, and then I'll always try to commit to that, so people can tell me how their life really is, and instead of being another person to judge them in the current society that we're so worried about other people's self-image and our own social conscience, that I can actually help other people overcome what their burdens are. Secondly, I will always be honest with you guys 100% in these videos. I will try my best to tell you guys how it went on in my life and how other people have influenced mine, but also I will always try to keep things that don't reveal too much about me. Therefore, things like suicide will not be talked about, because I believe that that's an extremity of depression, and I don't think it's a chapter of my life I want to review, and I don't want other people to feel that confronting. I want other people to go, that's not an option, that this is a time in their life, or it's ingrained in them, that they there's a chemical imbalance in their brain, or chemical reaction in their brain, where they feel sadness more than any other emotion, or they feel anger more than any other emotion, or they feel happiness more than any other emotion. Thirdly, we're going to try to prioritize being genuine as possible and authentic content. I really want you guys to understand if it's how I feel about a certain moment in this real talk, and not all real talk's going to be positive. Unfortunately, there will be some times when there are negative things in real talk, but that's the nature of the series, is to keep this series 100% real and try to keep this once a week. But if there's a major event on in my life, I want to make it a double weekend upload just for you boys and girls at home. But yeah, I definitely think that as something important, number 4, we were definitely always going to try to prioritize those messages that our fans leave to me, that to try to help everyone out, because I think that to be genuine and authentic about this issue, I have to then address this issue, which is something I think everyone can do. And I think that being number 5, which is the last tip of this video, is just help people in need. And it doesn't matter if they're poor or how they are. I'm telling you now, you'll reach a point in your life when you realize that you'll choose loyalty over anything. It sounds like a crazy thing. Some days I'd rather be homeless and have one loyal friend than be rich in a mansion and have 100,000 fake friends. With it's just something crucial to me, and I want you guys to know that. So until next time, all these videos will now be face cam. It's been your boy, the Flying Bird. Peace.